Zullen allemaal weten.
What are you all doing out here?
We're out here doing a direct action in front of the White House. We're the progressive anti-abortion uprising. We're demanding an autopsy for statute of limitations is going to run out after 2 years, and at that point, it's going to be a lot harder to get justice for them. So we are starting out pushing even harder for an autopsy for them because they deserve justice. They were killed past viability. Some of them were born alive and left to die, and they deserve to have an autopsy. And Cesare Santangelo must be held accountable. So we believe that civil disobedience, direct action is one of the most effective ways to get something from a source of power that is trying to silence you and shut you down. And currently the government, the city of DC, the health department, the medical examiner, everyone is trying to shut us down and cover up these crimes that are happening in DC. And so we're going to be out here, we're going to make a scene, and civil disobedience is social science. It's proven to be effective in getting this type of justice. So we are going to be handing out these flyers for a little bit, and then we're going to be doing an act of civil disobedience at the White House.
Is there a reason it's at the White House is the seat of federal power,
Exactly.
right? So
Yeah.
why the White House?
Yeah, so we chose to do the White House, one, because there's often a lot of people around here. Like you can see there's a lot of people walking around, and so when you're doing this type of sort of almost theatrical action, it's really impactful to have a lot of people walking around and seeing it happen. We want people in DC to call the medical examiner and demand an autopsy. So in order for us to tell them to do that, we need to be out here in the streets actually talking to them. So that's one aspect of it, is that it's really important to actually talk to people. Another aspect is, like you said, this is the seat of power in the federal government, and we know that the Biden administration has been covering these crimes up. We know that they are specifically protecting the abortion industry because it is all tied up in blood money. And so it's really important for us to be here, make sure they see us, make sure they know that we're not giving up.
The last several civil disobedience actions that I filmed exactly kind of where you're standing have all been climate actions. Are you are you drawing influence from other issues or
And climate action groups are a group that we look to a lot to see what they're doing, what works well, what doesn't work well. They're also a group of people that is very committed to following the science of social movements, as we are. So we definitely look to get inspiration from them. We support them, and they definitely understand that civil disobedience and direct action is really important, and so it's definitely something we look at.
Cool. Do you mind if I get your name for how to quote it?
For sure. Caroline Taylor Smith, Caroline Taylor Smith, and I'm the executive director of PAL.
Cool, got it. Thank you.
Thanks. Justice for the five!
Justice for the five!
Justice for the five!
Justice for the five!
Autopsy now!
Autopsy now!
Autopsy now!
Autopsy now!
Justice for Harriet!
Justice for Harriet!
Justice for Holly!
Justice for Holly!
Justice for Angel!
Justice for Angel!
Justice for Christopher!
Justice for Christopher!
Justice for Phoenix!
Justice for Phoenix!
Justice for the five!
Justice for the five!
Autopsy now!
Autopsy now!
Justice for the five!
Justice for the five!
Autopsy now!
Autopsy now!
Justice for the five!
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 Justice for Harriet!
Justice for Harriet!
Justice for Holly!
Justice for Holly!
Justice for Angel!
Justice for Angel!
Justice for Phoenix!
Justice for Phoenix!
Justice for Christopher!
Justice for Christopher!
Abortion is murder!
Abortion is oppression!
Abortion is murder!
Abortion is oppression!
Abortion is murder!
Abortion is oppression!
Autopsies now!
Autopsy now!
Autopsy now!
Autopsy now!
Justice for the five!
Justice for the five!
Justice for the five!
Justice for the five!
Autopsies now!
Autopsy now!
Autopsy now!
Autopsy now! Justice for the five. We're gonna fight for the babies who died. Hey people, can't you see they were killed by the butcher of DC? Justice for the five. We're gonna fight for the babies who died. Hey people, can't you see they were killed by the butcher of DC?
We're out here today in solidarity with the unborn children who were murdered by Cesare Santangelo just down the street from where we are sitting. Cesare Santangelo commits heinous crimes in his clinic. He aborts third trimester children. He has said on camera that if a baby was born alive in an abortion, he would not do anything to help it. He would let it die. He would let it drown. He would let it suffocate. And then he would dispose of it.
My friends found these babies in a box on the sidewalk. There were 5 big ones. They are still in the DC medical examiner's office. They need justice now! Autopsies now!
Autopsies now!
Autopsy now!
Autopsy now!
Autopsy now!
Justice for the five!
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 Justice for Harriet!
Justice for Harriet!
Justice for Holly!
Justice for Holly!
Justice for Angel!
Justice for Angel!
Justice for Phoenix!
Justice for Phoenix!
Justice for
Oops, sorry.
Christopher!
Justice for Christopher!
Cesare Santangelo once murdered one of his patients. He hurt her so bad that fetal remains were found in her lungs after they did an examination. We can't get back there. It's really far. I don't want to scoot that far. We need you to call the medical examiner and tell them they must perform an autopsy on these children. They are frozen at the medical examiner's office and they are not giving them justice. The least that they deserve is an autopsy to find out how they were killed. These are full-term babies that were written off as legal abortions in D.C. This is not legal abortion, this is infanticide.
Phoenix was born in his amniotic sac and left to drown. Christopher X was whole. Harriet's brain was sucked out with a vacuum. This is murder!
Abortion is murder!
Abortion is oppression!
Abortion is murder!
Abortion is oppression!
Abortion is murder!
Abortion is oppression!
Justice for the five!
Justice for the five!
Justice for the five!
Justice for the five!
Whenever it's political, it's very
Kristen, what's up? You want to do a little live stream?
They are exercising their constitutional right.
Yeah, let's start out placing again.
So you people know, this is all protected by our
Justice
Constitution.
for the five!
We are gonna fight for the babies who died. Hey people, can't you see they were killed by the butcher of DC?
This is a legal protest. This is all protected by our Constitution. All right, my group, let's start to head this way. We're gonna go back to the bus now.
For the babies who were murdered by Cesare Santangelo. Right now we have 3 activists locked down here.
Justice for the five!
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 Justice for Harriet!
Justice for Harriet!
Justice for Phoenix!
Justice for Phoenix!
Justice for Christopher!
Justice for Christopher!
Justice for Holly!
Justice for Holly!
Justice for On Hell!
Justice for On Hell!
Civil disobedience or anything?
My friends found these babies in a box on the sidewalk. They opened it up and found 5 whole big babies, 3rd trimester. They were killed. They were killed illegally. They deserve an autopsy. They deserve everything. But they were murdered. Autopsies now! Autopsies now! Autopsy now! Autopsy now! Autopsy now! Autopsy now! My friend found this box only 2 miles from here. This man is still killing every day. There are more babies, more 3rd trimester babies being killed. They're healthy. Their moms are healthy. This is infanticide. This is evil, and you can do something about it. Their bodies are still at the medical examiner, and they're refusing to do an autopsy. We call upon every person with power in D.C. to call for an autopsy now for the 5. Autopsy now! 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 Justice for the 5! 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 Justice for Christopher! Justice for Christopher! Justice for Holly!
மரங்கள்லாம் மறைச்சிட்டு.
My friends held these murdered babies in her hands. 2 of my friends held these murdered babies in their hands. They took pictures of them on their phone. They have videos from their phone of these babies. One had her brain sucked out. One was born whole. The other was still in the amniotic sac. These babies deserve justice. They deserve an autopsy. We have to verify if they were actually legally killed or if this was murder. I would like to lay down. We should announce the black. Okay, yeah. So you want me to... Okay.
Justice delayed is justice denied.
We demand justice for the 5.
Justice delayed is justice denied.
We demand justice for the 5.
Justice delayed is justice denied.
We demand justice for the 5.
Justice delayed is justice denied.
We demand justice for the 5.
Let's do a little bit of live video.
Yeah, let's do a live stream. We'll do the die. We'll do the dying on live for a little bit.
Hey everybody, we are out here at the White House trying to get autopsies for these children who were
Justice
murdered. Right
for
now we have a
the
couple
5.
activists.
Justice
Right?
for the 5.
Justice delayed is justice denied.
We demand justice for the 5.
Justice for the 5.
Justice for the 5.
But we need to look at her because you deny her. You choose to not see a victim of abortion. It happens every day.
Yeah, what are we calling for, Caroline?
We're calling for an autopsy now. It has been a year and a half that these children have been frozen in the medical examiner's office. We can't wait any longer. They must get an autopsy now, and we must
guys all
hold
chained
their
together
killer
under here?
accountable.
Yes, they are.
Together under here. Something that we need to cut out. Is it a zip tie? It's a chain. Does it have a lock to it? Is it gonna hurt when we stand you up right now?
No, I don't think so. Like, we can stand up. We just stood up.
Okay, so are we gonna have to cut that off of you?
Kristen, can you...
Okay. We're not playing any games. They're getting arrested. How do you want us to get this off so that they don't get hurt?
They can be gone.
Okay. We're gonna stand you up. This is what the protest is.
Justice for the 5!
Justice for the 5.
Justice for the 5!
Justice for the 5.
Justice delayed is justice denied!
We demand justice for the 5.
Justice delayed is justice denied!
We demand justice for the 5.
Justice for Harriet!
Justice for Harriet.
Justice for Holly!
Justice for Holly.
Justice for Christopher!
Justice for Christopher.
Justice for Phoenix!
Justice for Phoenix.
Justice delayed is justice denied!
Justice delayed is justice denied.
We demand justice for the 5!
We demand justice for the 5.
Justice delayed is justice denied!
Justice delayed my partner your name so I can write it on your bag.
Justice for the five. We're gonna fight for the babies who died. Hey, people, can't you see? They were caught on the butcher of DC. Justice for the five!
Justice for the five!
Justice for the five!
Justice for the five!
Autopsy now!
Autopsy now!
Autopsy now!
Autopsy now!
Justice for the five!
Justice for the five!
Autopsy now!
Autopsy now!
Justice for the five!
Justice for the five!
Autopsy now!
Autopsy now!
Justice for the five!
Are you live? We're not going to stay silent until these children get an autopsy and we hold their killer accountable.
Cesare Santangelo is committing federal crimes! It is up to the federal government to investigate! Autopsy now!
6, 7, 38.
You want to sing with me, Chris?
Little baby Harriet, you'll never see the sunrise because yesterday was the day that you met your demise. We tore your fragile life apart. It is so worth living and make you in a little cottage, cold and dark and damp. We didn't care for your mother when we did that procedure. You never even asked your father if he'd stay or if he'd leave her. One eye open, looking to us for justice. It may seem impossible, but with unity, it's not just us. One eye open, reminding us what matters. We must rescue every day to save the children from the slaughter. And your ID in a bag in your Bible.
I felt bad at first. I had to laugh at myself. Yeah, I did.
On 41 Lane, the driver was able to provide a proper documentation. Diego was visual user.
said that you're going to take, just going to take them out of the park and then put them.
Oh, okay. They're not even on it. Yeah. Did they do the misdemeanor, or is this a? Do they do a misdemeanor, or is this going to be like a citation?
It's a citation.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be like any.
Park police doesn't mess around. They're more angry than the Fischer.
Why were the cuffs so easy to defeat under the thing? I would thought. Yeah. Oh, okay.
They were toy cuffs.
They were plastic. Okay. I've seen people do that with chains where they have to like literally saw their
We
saw
have a
through the
version
thing.
like that, but we
Didn't.
don't want to risk that right now. So we were like, we'll just do toy cuffs.
I've seen dudes do it with not only handcuffs but like metal pipes around it, so they have to like use like saws that break through metal
Yeah, some
with
of
your
the
flesh
first,
inside.
Yeah.
It's like that would be a Halloween.
Yeah.
Not suggesting it.
No, you're good. Some of the first rescues after the FACE Act were fortified car rescues, where they would like fill a car with cement and chicken wire and chain themselves in there, and it took hours to get them out. And they would just get scrap cars and fortify them, park them in front of the doors, and then fortify the car. And then the first one took 4 hours to get them out. They had to saw the car roof off.
Where did that happen? Do you know
That
where?
happened in Wisconsin. At Bread and Roses. It was that was the abortion facility's name. It was one of the ones that got rescues like every day for a few years. I worked on a haunted house for 2 years, and I was like doing Dana's makeup. I'm like,
You did all the makeup?
I did Dana's makeup, and then I did some touch-ups on Elise. Curling board. Thank you. It was like, at first the whole thing covered her eye, but she was like, I'm worried about not being able to see. So I was like, okay, we can cut a hole in it. Yeah, Dana was Harriet. Yeah, that's where we wrote this song. We got in a band like this, and we started clapping, and we were like, well, we weren't clapping. That was the everybody protest. Bye-bye.
First arrest at the White House.
Yeah. I'm gonna follow them.
Well, we can't. I guess we go.
So, yeah, they might drive him a little far. If they go out of our eyes,
Okay, so that's that. 3 anti-abortion protesters chained themselves together under tubing, although I learned kind of afterwards that apparently they used like plastic or toy handcuffs. So, I've seen this demonstration tactic used before where, basically people will chain their hands together under tubing, and so it makes it complicated for the police to separate and sort of remove them. In this case, apparently it kind of looked like that, but then once the police actually sort of began doing their work, they essentially were able to just pull their hands together, or pull their hands apart sort of by brute force, and then one of the organizers confirmed to me afterwards that basically they were toy handcuffs. So 3 people were arrested there in front of the White House fence. Something I asked about actually kind of early on, and that they kind of confirmed or whatever to me, was that, this is a tactic that has been used very frequently of late with environmental organizations. Have done kind of basically the same thing or sort of a similar thing by hanging a banner in the same spot that they just locked on, and in some of those cases locking their bodies onto it as well. So sort of a sharing of tactic or a copying of tactic going on there. This particular group I have filmed on several occasions, and they tend to do actions often related to grievance with a particular abortion clinic. So the thing that they were saying, like Justice for the 5, they're referring to a specific case at a specific abortion clinic near George Washington area in Washington, D.C. So with all that being said, that gave you a little insight into how the Parks Police would make 3 arrests like that, kind of on an issue that I haven't seen do civil disobedience in front of the White House before. So with that, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff.